All right, coming up on this episode of One Star Rewind, I sit down with Mike and Chevy, owners of the Blasian Asian. These guys, aerospace engineers to restaurateurs. This is a great episode. We dive into a one-star review from a Tracy J. It's a good one. There's a lot of back and forth between her, Mike the owner, back to her, Mike the owner. It's some good stuff. We talk about how the food is made and some great experiences and how they're impacting the community. So join us on this awesome episode of One Star Rewind.
One Star Rewind.
All right, we are here, Mike and Chevy, owners of Blasian Asian. Y'all doing all right today?
So far, so good. It's still early.
It's still early. I know it's a little early. Trying to get my eyes to open up.
Right.
Well, I'm so happy to have y'all on here. I have been eating with y'all for a while.
Yes, you have.
You had the food truck over off U Parks, and then now at Union Hall,
Right.
location in there. I mean, y'all's like that garlic chicken fried rice and those dumplings. Like, dude, I just eat those all day. That is like my order right
No,
there.
that's our number one.
Is it number one? Well,
yeah.
it is so good. It is so good.
We
So
appreciate you.
well, thank you for coming in, y'all. A crazy amount of reviews, really good reviews, like on Google, so many, hundreds and hundreds, on Yelp, almost like 250. So you guys are clearly reviewed and so many good 5 stars. But like any business that has been around for any amount of time, because when did y'all open?
Was it end of 16?
Yeah.
In 2016?
December of 16.
2016. Okay, so you know that 5-year mark somewhere in there, almost 6. You're gonna accumulate reviews if you're doing something right,
Yeah, absolutely.
and you are. So,
Absolutely.
but with some good reviews, there's obviously a couple bad eggs, a couple bad ones, and so that's what we're gonna dive into today, with a 1-star review. So I'm gonna jump in. We're gonna read the review, and then we'll figure out what happened. But before we do that, we have to rewind. Ready? You ready for my rewind noise?
Rewind.
Okay, let's rewind. It's the high-end review noise. Okay. This was 4 years ago, so we got to put our memory hats on. 4 years ago, this is a Yelp review. Tracy J is our reviewer here. A little bit about Tracy, and this is all Yelp. So I didn't do no like CIA research. From Austin, apparently. Tracy has no profile picture on her Yelp. Top categories: she likes to go to buffets, breakfast joints, American food, and kind of she's left a range of reviews. Some 5 stars, a couple 4s, some 2s, but a lot of 1s. Yep. So Tracy is a 5-star or a 1-star. She's left 29 total reviews. Right. So Tracy reviews, man. She does her thing here. So, okay. I gotta like take a breath before we get into this. So this one's a good one. It's interesting,
Right?
Because she leaves a review, and then Mike, you're the one that replies to these. Okay, so then you replied,
Right.
and then she replied, and then you replied.
Yeah, it was quite the volley.
It was quite the volley. We're gonna read the initial review first, and then we'll talk about that. Then we'll dive into the volley and go back and forth. All right, ready?
Gotcha.
All right, Tracy J. 4 years ago said, "We came here in light of the great reviews, but we're disappointed. Food was delivered without enthusiasm. Ingredients tasted cheap, and we felt a bit sick afterwards. Small portions for the price. How a place with great reviews can be so bad, we just didn't understand. Makes us want to avoid food trucks in the future. If this is considered a good food truck experience." Okay, sorry. Avoid food trucks in the future if this is considered a good food truck experience. That was the end of the review. What happened? Just the first review. What happened here?
So on this one, I read the review. We were not that far into the Blasian Asian. Originally, it was just Chevy and I. So we're personable. I think that we're pretty personable, and a lot of people talk to us and come to converse with us and so forth. So this one hit us a little bit. So I did some investigation. We had hired some folks to help us out. That was our first round of hires.
Okay.
So we're high energy. When we talk, we're engaged. We use our hands. We talk about our kids, their kids, college. Right?
Oh yeah.
So a lot of our customers / family. Really got used to that. So everybody doesn't have that level of engagement when we're talking. So
Sure.
I do know who was working the window. Of course, I looked into it. So I knew
Yeah,
who was
definitely.
working the window and so forth. And their
Okay.
personality
Yeah.
was not as upbeat as Chevy and I tend to be.
Okay.
Which I understand that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I do take these reviews, all right, because that helps me mold and figure out what others are seeing.
Yeah,
Okay. So I use it as constructive criticism.
Yeah.
So we discussed it and so forth. And if I'm not mistaken, it was Easter.
Okay.
Not a lot of people really anxious to
work.
to work on
Yeah,
Easter.
not
you know?
not many are calling you saying, "Can I
Right.
get hours on Easter, please?" Yeah.
All right. So I did reply, and I think that you're probably going to read the reply.
Yes,
I did reply.
You
but
did.
The review itself caused me to take a look at what happened.
Sure.
Right? So there was some validity to what she was saying.
I do think it is interesting, and we'll read the reply here. But when she said the food was delivered without enthusiasm,
Right.
and yes, there's customer service, not being rude to people, but to kind of expect this like, hey, welcome, buddy, you know, like almost over the top is what I think when I hear like enthusiasm.
Right.
I mean, just be courteous,
Right.
and I'm here to order food. Like I don't know. I feel like that's kind of an unfair knock unless they were rude to them.
And the other thing is, you've been to the food truck and you've been to the restaurant.
Yeah.
We have hundreds of reviews that speak nothing about the customer service and you know, the interaction that they have with the folks. So
That's
that one
why-
took us by surprise.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I don't get it, because when we see the customer come in, we were so excited.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, like, hey, how are you doing? And then when they say that, I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, something
I
seems
know
off.
something.
Yeah, it seem-
it's
seem-
like she mad at us. Like,
Sure.
we don't know what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well,
as you read on,
Yeah,
you'll see
we'll
the anger.
start to
the anger
dive.
builds up.
we'll start to dive in.
Yeah.
Well, and I do always love when these reviews, when they're 1 stars, but they kind of talk about, oh, there's so many great reviews they have, and you have so
Right.
many great reviews. It's like, yeah, because we do something right here.
Right,
So, okay, so Tracy leaves this review. So, Mike, you then reply. Do you remember how long ago? Like you got the review? Was it the next night? Was it a week later? Like,
Oh,
do you?
I don't think it was at least 3 days.
3 days. Okay, pretty quick on him. Okay, so Mike says, Tracy J, we are really sorry to hear that your experience was not as pleasurable as so many other customers. This is definitely not a standard for us. We have shared this with our team in efforts to ensure that no other customer has to experience what you did today. We hope that you accept our apology. Thank you for sharing, Chevy and Mike. Right. Very just good reply or response as an owner. You know, say, sorry, it happened.
Right.
Be better. It's not our standard. That's a very good.
Now that's what I thought.
That's a good reply.
But as we go further, something got misconstrued here.
Don't understand. Okay, so that should have just been it. Should have been just a nice, we move on with life.
Right.
Tracy did not want to do that.
Right.
Tracy wanted something else to say. So do you remember how long ago, or you replied, and then do you remember how long it was when then she?
Oh no, this was a quick volley.
Oh, it was boom boom.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we were sitting on the computer waiting for the other one to reply.
Oh my gosh.
so-
Okay. So what she had to do is these reviews platforms like Google and Facebook, Yelp, like they always give, you know, reviewer a chance to leave a review, and then owner, manager, whatever to reply.
Right.
But people have learned if they don't like their response from the owner, they can go back and edit
Exactly.
their previous review and like basically indicate, oh, now I'm replying to the owner's
Right.
response kind of thing, which is I don't know, seems kind of messed up to me. But so that's what she does here. So then she goes back, she edits her review, does not change the first part of the review, the one we read, then has a little ... as like saying, here's part 2. So then her response to your reply was, so shortly after I posted this review, the owners responded with a very polite email saying they were very sorry and they would look into this anomaly. God, I can't talk. Look into this anomaly of a bad experience. Did you send an email? Or was
she's
she
talking about
meant
the
by the reply? Okay,
right.
Gotcha.
But it does come to her as an email.
Oh, okay. So she gets like an email notification
Right,
saying
exactly.
that you replied to the
right,
review.
right.
Okay. My thoughts are, don't blame the poor guys working at your food truck on Easter weekend. The issue is that your food is not all that the reviews make it seem to be. That night, both my husband and I had bad headaches, which I'm assuming was due to large amounts of MSG in the ingredients. In any case, the owners of this food truck know the quality of their ingredients and the portion sizes they are dishing out. Please don't blame your employees for the business decisions. That was her reply.
Okay. But wait, there's more.
Like I'm on an info commercial. Okay, so that was her reply. Yeah. So then Mike, being a good business owner, Chevy are like, okay, you read that. Do you remember what was going on? Like, were you like, what the heck? And then
that one
honestly or professionally? Honestly, it's like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
Right?
That.
So one of those things I've learned in my travels.
Yeah.
Don't respond to stuff like that immediately. Sure. So I slipped on that one.
Okay, so that's good.
I did reply to her, and then I'm hoping that we have a chance to read it.
Oh yeah, we have it right here.
Okay.
Well, I just will say real quick though, she doesn't. In her first review, which I know it's hard now to go back to, she talks about this enthusiasm thing with the customer service or whatever, and you were talking to that point, right? Like about the employee.
Right.
Now she's like saying, "Oh, forget that. Like I'm disregarding that. I just want to talk about the food."
Right.
Which was like, well, then why did you mention it?
And
okay.
So if you read what I put,
right.
it points that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. So then Mike's response. Tracy J, we were referencing your comment on the lack of enthusiasm. This is employee generated, is it not? Question mark. As for food, we are sorry it is not to your liking. We are sorry that you and your husband had headaches. MSG is definitely known to cause some people headaches. We don't use MSG in any of our dishes. We don't use MSG. So I would assume that it is not from this. Thanks again, Chevy and Mike. Boom.
Keep it professional.
Keep it professional. That was very good. You touched on both points.
Right.
You didn't go wild. And then now that was it there. I mean, she didn't come back and say some other stuff. I've had personally, and I'm not just saying this, I would say this other, if anybody else was in here, I was talking about Blasian.
Right.
I'll get headaches from time to time, but it's certainly not from eating your food. I don't understand that.
We've heard weird ones, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
okay. So now that so that's it. We've digested it. So what was the response, the feeling of like, now you've had to deal with this back and forth? Or is it just like, you're trying to fix something? Is it just weird outlier? Like this is an odd Tracy J review or?
Well, keeping in mind that at this stage of the game, we were in business for a year and a half or somewhere around there. So we've never gotten anything like this. So we're like, what do we do? This is going to ruin us. We're going to go out of business.
No, and then I take it seriously about MSG. I'm like, huh? How? I tell him, I'm like, no, honey, we didn't make anything. We didn't use that. So how does he say that?
Yeah.
How does he know that because he had that?
Well, so you have to also understand that that it's assumed that Asian food has a lot of MSG. And in the past, I think that has been maybe true. But
is that what they use, like in certain popular chains, that are like Panda and stuff like that? Do they use MSG? Or I don't even know what MSG. I've heard the term.
MSG is like a preservative.
I grew up.
Preservative.
I grew up eat that.
Okay.
Because back home.
Yeah.
All the grandma.
Yeah.
My mom.
Yeah.
She used that,
really?
right?
Okay.
So when we moved here, and then we learn a lot, and then I cook a lot, so we're trying.
Okay.
If we don't use that, it's still fine.
It's still fine.
Tastes good.
Yeah, it's still good.
That's why we're like, okay, we don't need to.
Let's talk. Let's go back now. So Blasian Asian got started 2016, but then when did y'all meet?
Oh, we met years deep. Thanks,
Lord.
Cory.
Oh, Lord.
Thanks, man.
It was 20 years ago.
Chevy, go ahead and take it away.
Hit it, Chevy. What year did y'all meet?
Thought we were friends, Cory. Here, we'll talk later.
We were. We'll talk. And we'll go to break now.
So,
2010.
At Honeywell.
2010, 2009, honey.
So we were about 2009. We both worked at Honeywell Aerospace.
Okay.
Seattle.
In Seattle.
It's an interesting story because in Seattle and Honeywell Aerospace, although we're doing rather well, we're doing okay.
Sure.
with the Blasian Asian, but that's not our background.
Yeah.
So both of us were in aerospace for a long time.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah,
I've done aeronautical engineering for
Dang.
years, and Chevy's
cool.
done. She's done like in the clean room working on circuit boards, and the
Jeez.
application was for military weapons.
What the heck?
Yeah, so
I had no idea.
Yeah. Most people think that hey, they've been doing this
They've been
food
doing
thing.
food for my word. No.
I make a little sensor for helicopter, military helicopter and things like that.
Right, the accelerometers.
Guys.
So, but yeah, we met there, and
Wow.
You want to know the real story?
Yeah. I want to know. Wait, okay, hold on.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hey, I'm Zach.
And I'm Mike.
And we have a fantastic new podcast to tell you about. Bros, Foes, and Heroes. It's the two of us looking into the world of comics, breaking down some characters that you may have never heard of, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Zach comes up with a character each time, and I go into it just completely blind. I don't know who this person is or what their abilities are or anything, and basically I guess we kind of go over their origin story and just some of the ridiculous stuff that maybe, especially Golden Age stuff.
Oh, Golden Age stuff is always the best, and we will make sure to highlight all of the shenanigans and just absolute weirdness of everything.
Yeah, that's right. So subscribe today and follow us on Instagram at Bros Foes Heroes.
And if you don't, I know where you live. Not really, but please subscribe.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hi, this is Sarah.
And I'm Carter.
And this is Some of Our Thoughts.
We're two Southern sommeliers, and we want to share everything we love and know about wine. We started hanging out during quarantine and cooking and drinking and listening to music, and we just thought this would be a great way to bring everything we know to you guys.
We will make wine knowledge and food pairings easy and approachable. So put on your favorite vinyl, grab your favorite glass of wine, tune into our show, and let's have some fun.
Wine and
vinyl.
So check us out on roguemedianetwork.com or wherever you get your favorite podcast. We'll be talking about a lot.
911, what's your emergency?
Do you hear that? It's coming from the house.
It's coming from inside the house? Do you mean? Could it be?
The Poltergeist. New from Rogue Media. Two haunted hotties talking about haunted places. Every episode we dive deep into the darkest places and give you a bit of history.
We're getting spooky in all the right places.
You've gobbled your last ghoul.
Follow along for the craziest and spookiest stories with Debbie's Dark Tourism. The Stanley Hotel,
Winchester House,
The Alamo,
Hotel Monte Vista,
and more spooky places. Find us at _Poltergals. POLTERGALS.
Look over your shoulder. It's us,
The Poltergals. Wherever you consume the podcast, you can find us there.
All right, we're back from break. I'm here with two rocket scientists, Mike and Chevy. So cool. So tell me a little bit more about what we were diving into. So you meet, but you meet at an aerospace company.
Right.
So pick us up from there.
So there was an aerospace company that we worked for in Seattle.
Okay.
So it was in Seattle. We lived in Seattle for approximately 20 years, give or take.
Wow.
And
That's incredible.
I had transferred. I was in Honeywell for a number of years, but I had transferred to another facility where, at that point, Chevy was working.
Cool.
And when I toured the facility, they had announced that I was coming over to this new facility.
Cool.
And as I toured the facility,
Put your picture for the last 2 weeks before you coming in.
Oh, they did? Yeah. They had Mike's picture?
On the flat screen TV.
Yeah.
So you knew Mike before he even got there.
So, and that's exactly my point. So as I was walking through the facility, she saw me. She dropped her tools and came and grabbed my leg. And she wouldn't let go. She said, "You are going to be my husband." Right? So I walked around the whole facility dragging her. This is how I remember it, Cory.
That's it, yeah.
This is how I remember
That's how it happened, Mike.
Like that,
yeah.
She
Chevy
doesn't remember
Chevy,
that.
it was the other way around. You were grabbing her leg.
Yeah, so we started dating, and one thing led to another. I ended up transferring to another opportunity that was afforded to me. Great. And eventually Chevy left, and we did other things before coming to Waco, which was another promotion.
Cool.
So I got another promotion, came out here.
Oh, great. So that's what brought you here was work. You never had. Have y'all ever been to Texas before? No. Never.
Oh, funny story.
Yeah.
So she didn't know what Waco was, and I had heard of it because of the David Koresh thing.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, that's all I really knew about it. But they had offered the position, so I said, hey, we should take it. And we did our research. The cost of living was fabulous compared to Seattle, so that was a great big perk. Yeah. We looked at school districts, and it took me about a week.
But I know Waco for the fixer-upper.
Fixer-upper, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's all I know.
That's all you know. Okay. Yeah.
And so it took about a week of convincing.
Cool.
Okay. And then finally she said, okay, we can move there. So we're down watching TV.
Yeah.
And it's literally that same day that I told the company I'm going to take the position because Chevy said, hey, we're good to go.
Yeah.
Later that evening, we're watching TV. Breaking news, shootout. Motorcycle gang shootout.
Oh, Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
No.
And she looked at me, and I didn't turn to look at her, right? So she's looking at me. I can tell she's looking at me.
Yeah.
She said, is that the same place? I said, I don't think so.
Is that the same? I don't know. No, I don't think it is.
Yeah, I think that was a different place.
Different Waco. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh. But you still did it.
We still
came.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Absolutely glad we did. We came here for house hunting, and this was with the clincher for us. We came here for house hunting. Chevy came with me.
Yeah.
But we went to the mall. You remember we went to the mall?
The Richland Mall?
Right.
Okay.
We went to the mall, and there was a lady in there. What's the name of that store? I don't remember. But the candles and the lotions.
Bed Bath and...
Yeah, that's what it was. So we went in there.
Yeah.
And we told the lady, hey, you know what, we're kind of looking around. She told us what schools to consider. She told us what areas to consider.
Jeez.
She said, hey, while you're here, you might want to do this. And then afterwards, she said bye like we were family.
What?
So we get out of the mall, and Chevy looks at me, and she said, are these people for real? Right? Because in Seattle, everything is go, go, go. You got Microsoft, you got Amazon.
Sure, Boeing.
Boeing.
Hi, bye.
Yeah, so everything is go, go, go. So that feel of welcome blew her mind. So that
went to the restaurant and sit down and talk, and it's so
that's crazy.
So nice.
I remember that. So I grew up in Portland. I don't know if we had talked about that. Yeah. So that's where I'm from, and it's not as go as Seattle is. Portland's kind of the smaller version of Seattle.
Portland still.
But people they're nice, but they're kind of like, I'm gonna do my thing, you do your thing. I'm gonna smile at you, but that's it. And so when I came down to go to Baylor, it was the first time I ever spent any time in Texas was being here as a student.
Right.
And you go around the town and people they're just, oh, how are you, baby? How are you doing today? And it's like, good. And they're like, oh, well, are you here as a student? And I'm like, why are they asking me questions? I don't know this person. I don't know them. And I remember calling my parents. I'm like, man, these people down here are like really friendly, like really friendly. So I totally know what y'all talking about.
We talked about it and we laughed because I came here from Seattle. So Seattle is corporate, it's corporations, it's management, it's HR. So I'm coming from a very strong corporate environment.
Yeah.
And when I get here, even in the work environment that I now oversee, everybody's honey, baby, sweetie, dumpling, and so forth. Boy, in Seattle, HR would have a fit.
Oh, if you said that, they'd be reporting you in a second.
Right.
Yeah.
And so everyone's saying, "Hey, welcome to Texas. This is how it is."
That's crazy. Yeah. Okay, so give me the jump. How did Blasian Asian then get started?
Okay, so speed things up. So we came here. We had Ariana.
Okay.
Our daughter.
Okay.
So she's the one daughter that we have between us.
Great.
Who's the mix between black
Okay.
and Asian,
She's
black.
the Blasian.
Right?
I love
so
it.
she was young and she finally went to school,
Okay.
right? Kindergarten, because Chevy stayed home because
Great.
we didn't want too many people involved with, handing over our kid.
Oh, yeah.
And healthcare, babysitting is expensive.
Yeah, for sure.
So Chevy stayed home until she went to kindergarten.
Cool.
So now she's in kindergarten. She went to Spring Valley.
Great.
And now Chevy's like, hey, I got to do something.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
So how did we come up with the Blasian Asian? Because it was the employees, right?
Mm-hmm, because
Yeah.
you're employee.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So at work, so I'm home, and I my passion is cooking.
Yeah.
So I'm in the kitchen all the time, no
Okay.
matter what.
Yeah.
And then I never packed lunch for him to work.
Okay.
So because they're only 5 minutes.
Sure.
Oh, we come
You
home.
just come home for lunch.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
No, I bring.
Oh, you'd bring him lunch.
I bring him lunch, so I
Oh.
cook fresh and bring him lunch. And then when he come back,
Mike, that's the dream right there, man.
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
know, man.
Okay, yeah.
when he come back home, he act hungry. I'm like, what? I give you a lot of food. He like, no, I share with my employees. I'm like, oh, that's my employee. He's like, what are you having, Mike? It smells good. It looks good.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you want to try some? I'm like, oh, okay. Tomato, I make something for you. So the next day I rolled the egg roll, the one of those small pan.
Okay.
But it's still a lot. I just drop off.
And they're just
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, in front office. And they love it.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few days later, I can make fried rice and drop off. They like, and after that, can we buy some? Can she cook some
Yeah.
more? And if I have,
Sandwich. It was sandwich.
yeah, so I bring some sandwich, garlic fried rice,
Yeah.
and egg roll.
Oh man.
And then later on, they like, okay, if we have party, can we order from
That's
you?
right, yeah.
Oh
But
man.
he's the boss there.
Sure.
I cannot just bring
yeah,
the food
look.
for
Okay.
sale.
Yeah. Sure.
And then when I say that, they said, okay, we can meet each other. I think in Panda Way, you would drive. You
Okay.
have is it Texaco?
Okay, that little
Yeah, that
Yeah,
gas
gas
station.
station.
Yeah, that
There's
gas
something else
station.
now, though.
You were meeting him at the Texaco.
Just to pick-
So
Just to pick the food.
I love it.
And later on,
Oh,
because
I didn't
all-
know this, by the way. I'm finding this out.
You're out later.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too
and then later on, they like all the employees love it. They're like,
Yeah.
say, sweetheart, we don't care.
Oh.
Just come. If you never get in trouble.
good. Yeah. You're like, okay.
Come to the parking lot.
Yeah, don't worry about it,
Don't-
sweetie baby,
Don't
honey,
worry about it.
love.
Yeah,
Honey, love.
they-
Don't meet
and
at the
I'm like,
Texaco gas
Oh
station.
my God, your employees, they're so sweet.
Yeah.
I love them too. So
Well, they
I
were
get,
they were loving the food they were
so-
eating too. Yeah.
So they will let him know what
Their order.
put the list, give me the list. So I made all different kind, whatever.
Wow.
So in the back of my Land Cruiser,
Oh my gosh.
just back up in
Bag
the
up.
parking lot. They just come to pick.
This was like the original carry out or like Uber Eats before that was a
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, you're bringing
Yeah.
food.
It's so funny. Just
Cool.
do that.
So is this really where is this where the menu that now
Right.
currently exists? Is this where it kind of got started? Was you
Yeah, it
putting
kinda
these
got
things
Yeah,
together?
the big thing was it started off with the sandwich. Everybody wanted the sandwich, and if you wanted the long story short, I
Sure.
always usually tell people,
Yeah.
the Blasian Asian started because Chevy was slinging sandwiches out of the back of her truck. So
That's how this slinging the Sammys,
Yeah.
throwing the sandwiches.
what you need? I got what
Yeah,
you
what
need.
you need.
Pop the trunk.
All right, well then now let's take another leap in the story. So when did you get the food truck, or how did you? Was it local, or did you buy it to another city, or how did that come
That's
about?
actually a quick story because it was like we decided on Friday we wanted to go, and maybe this is what we should do. You remember? And then it was immediate. It wasn't even a week.
Really?
We pulled money out of the bank.
Dang,
We looked
just
for one.
got the truck.
And we got a little small one because
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You're in the middle of Texas.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So I figured Asian had no chance. You had some of the best barbecue in the country.
Sure.
You had some of the best Mexican food in the country.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
Right? So we figure. Yeah, we're not gonna really do much, so we got a little small
Okay.
food
Start small.
trailer.
Yeah.
And our budget was we planned on. You remember how many plates did we say? Hey, let's try to sell
6 to 8 plates.
6 to 8 plates a day.
6 to 8 plates a day.
That's what we thought that we would do.
thought that we would do.
Yeah.
So
Oh my goodness.
The very first day we opened.
Oh no.
It was a disaster. We had a 45-minute wait.
Oh my goodness.
Customers
just
didn't
me
mind.
cook, and you serve the customer.
Yeah.
You talk all to customer a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm the one that cook by myself. So okay.
I had the hard part. I had to talk to everybody.
You gotta keep them busy for 45 minutes.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
That's a lot of talking.
You had the easy part.
Yeah, that's a lot of talking.
We not even put the note said.
Yeah.
We will open.
It was
this
a soft
day
open.
and
We just
no.
opened.
You just popped up.
Yeah, we
We
just
just pop up and
6
say
to
that,
8. I mean, I could see one person coming up and saying, "I need to get 6 orders of whatever."
And you know, the other thing is, I think the other thing that drove that is, and one thing that we learned about Waco, and we're so appreciative and thankful to the community for the acceptance of someone coming out. Waco is very, very loyal to their own.
They are.
Right?
They are.
So we're from Seattle. That's not as bad as coming from California, but we're from Seattle, right?
Yes.
And let's be honest, an interracial couple.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
We did not expect that type of reception.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, in a city that's it's coming around, but it's not it's not there, man. Like and it's making strides. But yeah, I mean, one, you're right. Will they support us? Will they even like accept us being here? Right. You know, and but at the end of the day, man, the food tastes good and y'all are friendly and like
so let me tell you. So we're in there.
Okay.
And this is where I learned where the thresholds are with my wife.
Okay.
So orders are coming in. I'm screaming back, "Hey, this is taking too long." Eventually, she hit the spatulas on the griddle. I'm going as fast as I can. So I throttled back.
There you go, Mike, reading the room.
She has sharp instruments behind me. Yes. Right? So I throttled back, but boy, she snapped. But they were coming in really, really fast.
Wow.
And, at the end, we just sat there. And here, let me tell you, let me explain to you something.
Okay.
We brought a deck of cards because I figured we would be playing solitaire. Yeah.
We'd
so
be bored.
Yeah. So after we got finished, you remember we just sat on those little stools? So what in the hell did we get ourselves into? Right, yeah, that was the very first day.
We walked like an old couple, like, oh my God.
Oh man.
What did we start?
Was that like a Friday, a Saturday? Do you remember? Saturday?
We have no idea.
Yeah, I don't remember.
We know that we start after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we did it because Baylor had left, so we figured that would be a very soft
opening time, and then the locals, everyone coming out.
Nope, it was not.
Well,
everybody there.
So then when did you progress to the bigger truck?
So a funny story.
Okay,
but there's a lot of twists to this.
Yeah,
because since we did not anticipate the Blasian Asian being what it is today, I was still working as an engineer.
Okay,
right. So I did other things with some aeronautical companies, which required me to travel quite a bit. I had offices kind of scattered throughout the United States. So I was gone 80% of the time. So it was just Chevy and our son.
The kid.
Yeah.
And we have to hire
people. So quickly I realized that one, it's too much for just Chevy and a couple people to manage. Yeah. And two, to be honest, he was making a lot more money because of the consistency than what I was doing. Yeah. You know, traveling 80% and I had kids at home that weren't seeing me.
And the trailer is getting tight for all of us in there.
Oh, in the little trailer.
So what was it,
shoulder
5 months?
To shoulder?
Do we have it 5 months?
Yeah,
and then we got
about 5
5 months. We had to get one that was twice the size.
Wow. Yeah. Now that was the one that y'all had for a while, right? Before Union Hall.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was the big one. So
cool.
And then, like I said, we continued to grow even in the big one, which yielded the decision to go to Union Hall.
Yeah, cool. And now it's been good having kind of call it a brick and mortar. It's in a food court, but you have your own space. It's inside. You know.
I'll let Chevy answer that one.
Chevy, how do you feel about that?
How do you think that the Union Hall move was a good thing compared to the food truck?
Oh, Lord, yes. So the weather here, when it's hot, Lord, it's so hot in that food truck. It's 125 degrees, and we still cooking by the grill and all of that, deep fries. And then when it rains very hard, you will see that. And then windy, and then all the hell and everything. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, we didn't get that kind of weather. It didn't get this hot in Seattle.
Yeah.
So, when it's 110 degrees and we're going outside the food trailer to cool off.
Yeah, that it's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did a little stint with Chick-fil-A here in town and was working on their food truck for a little bit and in the summer.
Right.
And, they had, that thing had 4 air conditioning units on there and it's like doesn't do nothing. It's they might as well not even be
We
there.
had one and it was broke.
And it was broke?
Yeah. If you really think about the dynamics of what a food truck is, it's an oven.
It's an oven.
That's what it is.
You're right. It's good. Good. Well, so now you're inside.
Yeah.
You still are always. I always feel for the businesses kind of around y'all because your line always kind of gets in the other way, and it's. I'm kind of joking, but not. But you guys still. You're following. They're there with you. I feel like more people now. They walk by. They see what's going on. They see people eating it at a table. Like, hey, I've had people ask, "Where'd you get that?" Like, it's around the corner. So I feel like has that proven anything to say? Is there ever a leap to your own thing, or do you like the food court model?
So that's probably the number one question that we get asked even before we got the Union Hall that we're going to do a brick and mortar. So we intentionally spent 3 years in the food truck before moving to a building, any type of building, and in this case, Union Hall.
Yeah.
Because our philosophy was let's create that following. There's nothing worse than going into a building and having that level of expenses and not knowing if you have support.
No kidding. Yeah.
So we stayed in the food truck even though we had offers between Union Hall and the start.
Yeah.
Same thing here, same philosophy. So we've been working in Union Hall. We've shown and been proved that, hey, you know what, Waco's definitely supporting us and doing things to show us, hey, that even if we get a brick and mortar. Now, the reason why we're really interested and we jumped at this opportunity, one, the Union Hall concept is new to Waco. Yeah. Not new to the nation, but it's new to Waco. And when you have variety in one building, and this is our philosophy, and we tell us to our employees as well, Union Hall created the variety, so it gets people in the door. Now it's our job to get people to our location. Right?
There you go.
So that variety is always going to be appealing to most. Right?
For
so
sure.
Now we're looking at the potential of a standalone brick and mortar, which Chevy would like because her personality is more of a, hey, she wants to converse with the customers and sit down and talk and in that fast pace. Union Hall is very, very fast paced.
Yeah. So we have a lot of local customers now turn to family. They want to bring the family in. They're like, Chevy, we have no place to sit.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, go. They want to talk, all of that.
Chevy said family. I'm gonna tell this story real quick. So we've been here long enough, and we've seen Baylor kids come here for the first time as freshmen.
Yeah.
We've seen them graduate. So when they come back for like homecoming, they'll bring back their family and their friends, and they'll come, hey, where's Chevy? She's usually in the back. We bring her up. And they come hugging. I'm going to tell them. So she's standing in the middle of Union Hall crying. And they're crying. They're hugging. I'm so proud of you. I mean, really, it's like you started to cry now.
Yeah. Don't cry. Cry. Yeah, Chevy's crying right now. Chevy, don't cry.
Yeah, she's crying. So, but the relationship.
I'm so happy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, my
kid is good kid.
Well, and you, so we run a program for high school students. We do a triple win. And we have a food entrepreneurship course. So students are, just dipping their toe into what it would look like to run a food business and start as a food truck, or do they start at the farmer's market or whatever. And so Union Hall was a good experience because I'd bring my students and they could kind of, walk around, meet some of the businesses, see kind of from the business side how like a food court operates and the storage, and they have the storage up top and all that stuff. But I was like, the second go around, so I did it one time and it was fine. But I was like, the second one, I want them to actually talk to some of the business owners. And I'm like, I'm gonna ask Mike and Chevy because you guys are always the nicest. And I love y'all's food. And Chevy's like, bring them on. So I'm going, and my expectation was we're gonna stand outside of the restaurant, and we're just gonna talk. They'll ask some questions. How'd this get started? What's your favorite dish? And then we'll leave.
Right.
We get there, and Chevy's like, "All right, man, like y'all, you're cooking." And I'm like, "What?" And then like the students are putting aprons on, gloves. They're all in the back. They're cooking up. What? And then and then you gave all this food. Like you're like, yeah, then whatever they want, they can have. And I'm just like,
I'm like, what do you want? Said, I want this one. I said, you want to cook your own food?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah. They lit up. So they're like, and they look like they're so happy. They started to cook their own food. They're like, now they tell their friend, like, look, I cook my own food.
Yeah.
And I'm like, tasting. Oh my God, it tastes good.
You had them at like the stations in there, and I'm telling you, man, they still talk about that, and they're still like, "When are you taking us back to Blasian? When are we going back to Blasian Asian?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, y'all!" So that was just
we love that. There was a situation and I don't know if you had saw it on our social media, but you remember the kids came by? They had and I forgot the school district. It was far out, but there was a group of kids that something happened and their schedules conflicted, and they were on a school trip to do a culinary thing, and it didn't happen.
Oh, okay.
So they stopped by the Blasian Asian.
Yeah.
Boy, we brought them in. You remember we took pictures. They were cooking and so forth.
That's
So
cool.
we turned that disaster into an actual
experience.
They're having fun.
Well, those are the type of things, and you're doing it already now, and you know.
Yeah.
But at that point, whenever it's time, or if that's what it's supposed to be, and you get your own place like that, I just see that happening so much when you can kind of control the environment, the seating, your own kitchen. I mean, you have your own kitchen, but like a bigger space or whatever.
Yeah, I would love that, my own kitchen, so I can make more stuff, because all my customers like keep saying, when are you gonna make dessert? We make something else. So I want to make dessert, and I want to show them if I have my own place, I can, like, you want to try the same thing?
Yeah.
Like, come on, if you want it.
Cory, let me tell you a story. Hold on. So when we first started this food truck, I said, "What do you want to cook?" Chevy's menu was like a dang on 5-star. It was huge. I mean, huge.
17 pages. Yeah.
You just have to simmer this for 17 hours. Yeah. No. So we had to scale back. So the brick and mortar
we cannot do that.
Really where she's gonna excel.
Bigger menu.
Because I didn't know. I'm like,
I know.
Just that.
I
want to share because my passion, I want to share everything.
I know.
Everything that they make in Cambodia.
Yeah.
Chevy had on the menu.
Every Cambodian dish. I know. That again is the good and the bad, right? It's like the garlic fried rice. It's like, God, can we like make something else, But it's like, it's Waco. Everyone's like, okay, I've had fried rice before. It's chicken. I can I can add chicken to it. And that's the safe play, but it's amazing. It's really good. But I know you're probably just like, I can do so much more, and I can expand.
And we originally tried. You remember the yellow pancake? We tried to put a very Cambodian dish on there, but it has a lot of egg. But it doesn't sell because our menu morphed.
Okay,
really.
No, the yellow pancake is sell a lot, but it's hard to make.
Yeah, but we didn't sell a lot of them to be able to keep it, so we ended up. We ate a lot of our own product. Let's just put it that way.
A lot of yellow pancakes.
But it didn't sell like the noodles and the fried rice.
Yeah.
So her menu, which she wants 100% Cambodian, a lot of people were like, I don't know about that. Give me that rice.
Yeah, give me the rice.
They're familiar with that.
Yeah. And there could be some, again, like if you don't even have to have your own place to do this, but it's like maybe a night where you like, not like a cooking class, but like where people come and do like 3-course, they pay whatever, and they get the fried rice and this, and then you can like sneak in this Cambodian dish that's actually really good, but maybe they wouldn't order it on their own. But now that you're like making it part of the like a bigger thing, they'll try it and like it.
Yeah, because we have like when Cambodia come, when Cambodia people coming in, they ask like, can we make this? Can we make
more traditional
that? More traditional and all the things like that. Said I wanted to.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of seafood.
Yeah.
Especially fish.
Okay.
Things like that.
Oh boy.
Okay.
And then look at him.
Oh boy.
And then,
I'm a seafood fan, but sometimes how you cook it and how long you cook it.
Mike's like, I don't know.
Can you make that outside?
Oh, yeah, I can't. You need an outside kitchen. Oh my gosh, guys. Well, we could be talking for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
We'll bring it back. We'll wrap it up here. We end every episode with if I was the reviewer. I'll be Tracy J. I don't know if I want to be, but I'm gonna be. And if there were any final words, Mike or Chevy, that you would like to say to Tracy, I don't think we've had reviewers, or I've done episodes where reviewer leaves review, owner responds, and then the other person replied. So back, but never 4 times. So this is different. But is there any final thing you would say to Tracy J if she was in here?
Honestly, although there was a lot of frustration reading that and so forth, we would always keep it professional. My thing is, a lot of people don't know what it takes to 1, have your own business, 2, to be a small business, 3, to be minority, 4, there's just so much that goes into it. And I wish that her and I had the opportunity to really sit down and talk about, because she had mentioned portion sizes. You know, we've seen the cost of food skyrocket. You have to take that into consideration.
You have to.
Right? So I would love to say, hey, this is how much the beef was then, now, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
So it's less frustration, like anger, but more, I wish I could explain differently. It's not that easy. I know it, you go to McDonald's or Wendy's or Burger King, you can just order a hamburger. Here you go, here's a hamburger. We don't keep anything up. Everything is cooked to order. So when we have a line of 20, 30 people, but we don't keep anything up, you have to take certain things into consideration. And that would be the only thing that I would really like to say is spend a day in our shoes.
Sure, for sure. I like that. Right. Chevy, any final thoughts to Tracy?
I like for her to come back and try again.
Yeah. Show her. There's no MSG in any of this stuff. What are you talking about? Cool. Well, Mike, Chevy, thank you so much.
Absolutely,
again, we could have like 4 parts to this. I love having you guys on. This is great. So thank you for stopping by.
Sure.
And everybody check out the Blasian Asian, Union Hall.
Thank you. All right.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.